Hello guys, and welcome back to the extended Pentagon challenge. We are in Indonesia with Persipura Jayapura, and it's, I think, the end of our third season, and so we're right at the end of the season at the moment, and there's a very exciting game coming up. I'd just like to tell you, so that probably tells you a little bit about perhaps what's happening. But anyway, what I'll do is I'll just go through the fixtures with you. And when I left you off, we had just played Persis Solo and won the game by 3-2. We then moved on to Persibaya and beat them 4-0, and again a very good result. We normally have problems against Persibaya, and Verman Saya, Setiawan, Lily Pally and Alamir getting the goals that gave us the victory in a very much deserved victory at home to Persibaya. We then moved on, and we then actually got a draw against Semen Padang 0-0, which I got himself sent off, unfortunately, or rather stupidly. In the end, we couldn't break them down. We had the better of the game, but it happens quite a lot with us. That we just don't seem to get the breakthrough, and this was in the cup actually. So I was a bit disappointed because 0-0 at home is probably not good enough in many respects to really put yourself in any kind of position to be able to take the foot off the pedal in the second leg. So third round we were a little bit up against it with that draw. Next up, we played Barito Putra. These guys have basically had a phenomenal season at Barito. I will show you the league table a bit later, but you'll see why. They've just been doing really great. They've been the main challengers this season, pretty much. And we managed to get a draw away, so it's a respectable result in the context of things. Setiawan with our goal, Mulyono with theirs, as we drew the game 1-1. But I'll take that actually. So it was a pretty decent result, all things considered. Then a pretty poor result. We were in the second leg of the third round of the cup. We went down early through a goal from Hanafi Ben. Boaz equalised for us. Then Mohammed Mahmoud. Then Verman Sia put us 2-1 up. So I was thinking, we're doing pretty well here. Mohammed Mahmoud then equalised, but we were going through on away goals. And then 87th minute, Maman Ramat scores the winner, knocks us out the cup. Again, I would say undeserved. I think we had the better of the play, but not winning the PL Indonesia this season. Just in the end, sucker punch by Semen Padang. And that poor little run continued against PSM. Really, we needed to continue good form in the league, because it was getting really important to win as many games as we could, as usual, because we're just so prone to against these teams, mid-table teams, just losing concentration. And look at that, 2-0 down within 11 minutes. Leicester to Hulu pulls us back level in basically 7 minutes in the second half. 5 minutes from time, Sasanto for PSM, game over, and 3-2 the loss again, and disappointing. We recovered though. We back at home against Perseba Super, and I won the game 3-0. Verman Sia, Lezen Tulu and Setiawan getting the goals there. A game which we dominated from pretty much start to finish. So a good win for us. And then we followed up with a 1-0 win to Persiwa. They've actually done pretty well this season, Persiwa. So it was nice to see us get a goal 10 minutes from time. That goal could be one of the most important goals we've ever scored, and the context will be shown later on. But yeah, such an important goal. 10 minutes from time gives us the 1-0 win, a scrape through against them. Polita at home. Polita are a decent side, we know that, but 0-0 at home for me is not a great result against them. I think we should be winning that, and in the end, we couldn't really stamp our authority on the game. It just goes to show that I guess many of these games where we've been drawing 0-0, we probably would have lost last season or the season before, because our defence was just so poor. So that's one positive to take from it, that we've managed to curb that in many respects. Next up, Sriwijaya at home, huge game in a huge result. Lily Pally putting us up early to Aria, only allowing us to lead for 4 minutes, and then just into the second half, Dalla Dalla gets the goal to seal the victory. It was still tense after that goal. They had chances, but we held out, and brilliant win against Sriwijaya. Anytime we beat them, I'm thinking it's a really good result. Then we faced Arema. Arema were having what looked like a bad season up until now, and I think this result massively spurred them on in their kind of in the league. We took the lead through Boaz. Mario Valverde equalised. Titus Bonar then put them 2-1 up, and then 3-1 up. We got one back through Hidiatullah to make it 3-2, but that didn't last long, as Abdul Putra made it 4-2, and soon after Silali made it 5-2. Already an embarrassing result. We made it a little bit more respectable, and Setio made it 5-3, but yeah, nothing went right. Defence, this time again showing a bit of frailty that it's been common since my tenure at Persipur and Arema win. And really, if you look back for all the games we've played against Arema and Sriwijaya, the main two clubs, you can see most of the time we're losing to these guys. I just think we're just not as good as them in many respects. Semen Padang in the league, they knocked us out the cup, so it's nice to get a little bit of revenge on them. Setiawan with 2, an Osok own goal, and Dalla Dalla 7 minutes from time. Denny Antwi getting a goal for them to make things interesting for a portion of the game, but a 4-1 win, and thoroughly deserved as we continued our run. Persicam at home, very important result. These are the games where you just need to grab a goal and make sure that you hold on to it, because we had so many chances. We thrown them away. Luckily, Boaz put one in early, which gave us kind of the lead, and we held on. Persicam didn't really create too much, but there's always the chance that they can, somehow fumble the ball into our net. But good to see that we can hold on to 1-0 leads nowadays. So a very good result in my book. Then at Padang, actually the return leg in the league, we lost 1-0. An unfortunate own goal for Hidiatullah, 6 minutes from time, granting Semen Padang the lead. And at this point, I thought the title was slipping very much from our hands, especially as when we hosted Arema at home, we lost the game, and silly boy Anger Asapa gets himself sent off in the 51st minute. Titus Benai then scores, and Yulianto makes it 2-0, and for all intents and purposes, the game's over. Hidiantula managed to pull one back. Titus Benai then makes it 3-1. Game over. Arema beat us in their own backyard, and it really was all to do with the sending off. So I actually fined the guy a week's wages, because I was just so annoyed after this, because we'd worked so hard all season, and at this point I'm thinking, that's it, we've thrown it away again. Typical us, just throw it away every single time. Persipura against the Persiman. We were now knew that we needed to win pretty much every game remaining in the season, and it had to start here, and it did. Lesantula gave us the lead. It was short-lived, Furton getting one back, but Hidiatullah got an important goal just to ease off us. 5 minutes later, Hidiatullah getting that goal, Dalla Dalla making it 3-1, and then Lesantula killing the game off 4-1 to us, and a very impressive win as we try to keep up pace. It was always going to be up against. We were always going to be up against it. We still need to win everything, but it was always going to be difficult. And Persib, difficult club to play. They're always a bit hit and miss. And this time we took a lead through Hidiatullah. Martha did equalise, so the score at half time was 1-1. Hidiatullah then after half time getting a very important goal, making it 2-1. Setiawan making it 3-1. And then Arif killing the game off, making it 4-1. Mumbai did pull one back late on for them, but that was that. 4-2, another important win for us as we tried to put pressure on our rivals, which I'll show you in a second. Persela, this was a huge game, an absolutely immensely huge game, because basically we knew this was going to be the toughest game of the run-in. After Rema, Pesella was a difficult one. They're a local rival, so it was a rivalry game. We're going for the title. They're about 6th or 7th. They're probably not playing for much, but it's like all things. If your local rivals are looking to go for the title, you'd love nothing better than to basically put a massive dent in that opportunity. And we really needed to turn up, and we did. Synergy, Setiowan with 2, Vermencia, a huge 4-0 win against Pessoa, as we basically stamped at least an opportunity at the title going into the final game. So basically, what's been going on? I bet you're asking. So this is the league table at the moment. Quite amazing. So we're top on goal difference. Burrito Putra are second, and Arema are third. Arema pretty much with not really much chance of winning the title unless the goal difference absolutely swings amazingly between us and them. Burrito Putra have had a phenomenal season. That's undeniable. They've really drove us all the way. Most of the time, actually, if I just go back to the league, it has been Sriwijaya there as well, but they've just fallen away at the last, pretty much. So if I just go through their fixtures, just to kind of few, so you can tell that at the start of the season, I mean, I'm talking absolutely just solid, absolutely solid all the way through. One loss against Persiwa, but they were just picking up wins after wins after wins after wins. A loss to Sriwijaya, then okay, they lost the game, and they're in the AFC Cup anyway, so okay, they've got other duties to perform. So this has meant they were actually quite a way behind everyone else in terms of fixtures played. So we now come up to about here is when I've kind of played Arema, and they've kind of then have all these games to go, and so the run-in, they've lost to PSM at home, they lost to Persiwa at home, amazing results. They lost away to Persis Solo, who are one of the worst sides in the league. They lost to Polita at home. They then beat PSM, and then these 3 games are so crucial because going in, they basically have picked up 5 points. So they had 61 points, and they had played 30, and basically they could be 69 on 69 and pretty much home and hose really. But what ended up happening was, they drew against Persicam at home, which is phenomenal considering where Persicam are. They're like in 17th in the league. They've done us such a big favour there. So Pentagon away, difficult game, 0-0 draw, and then they did beat Persicam. But look who they've got to play last. Arema away. That's always going to be a tough tie. So the equation is quite simple, really. If we win, we're champions, and we're playing PSSB today, which is your live game. If we beat PSSB, we are champions. If we draw and Burrito Putra do not win, we are also champions. If Burrito Putra lose at all, if Arema manage to beat them, then we are champions, even if we lose. So it's a really quite amazing situation to go into. I'll just cover off kind of how the players have been doing, and then we'll go into the live com. Hopefully, and I do say this, I might be jinxing myself right now. I hope this is the end of Indonesia and we can finally walk away with that title. So, as you can see, the goals, there's been, you used to seeing Boaz with a ton of goals. Well, that's just not happened this season. He's actually deteriorating. He's probably not going to get a new contract. I'm hoping I won't have to make that decision because I won't need to be the manager of Persipura anymore. But we shall see. Stefano Lillipali doing very well. Setiowan, he's proved to be an absolutely brilliant signing. Anga Asapa, apart from the mistake he made getting sent off against Arema, has done admirably well. He's been such a good promotion to the first team now. He's just so, he's probably one of the best players in the whole of the country at the moment. He's already got 32 caps for his country at 22 years old, and I'm talking about he had none when I first took over the club. So it's just been an amazing rise for this guy. Dala, good signing again. Nazrul Arif, again, another guy promoted, 11 caps, only 18 years old. But just, at this level, the quality is unbelievable. So, the funny thing is despite my kind of at the start, reliance on foreign stars, it's actually in the end I've digressed down to bringing through my Indonesian homegrown players that have kind of come up with the club, and Wijaya, another guy who's just he's played a lot of games this season, done really well. Refi Sanaji, who we got from Arema, again another good signing, done really well. So I think it just goes to show that it's really been kind of a team effort. Supri Hidiatullah, he scored a fair number of goals, important goals for us. So I'm very pleased with actually the way this squad's actually been turning out, because it's mostly Indonesian, and it's mostly homegrown guys. And I even got a message the other day saying that it was my 300th game and how I'd was bringing through loads of Indonesian players, and I think that can be seen through the there's like a stat, isn't there, to domestic bias, and you can see it's right up. At one point it certainly wasn't. If you're wondering what this is, actually the Indonesia under-21s, under-23s, I actually took the job of managing the club, managing the under-23s in the Asian Games. We didn't get out the group, so we only got 2 points. We were very close actually to get out of the group. We were leading UAE for about half an hour, but it was all grade players, which was quite annoying. In the end, we finished bottom of the group, so didn't do too well there. But yeah, I decided just for a bit of a diversion to take up that role. So yeah, guys, we've seen all that. So now to the live com. Right, guys, sorry for the cut there. Was just looking up actually PSSB's team, doing a little bit of homework, and got myself a glass of water just before this game. Thirsty work, as they say. Anyway, let's move on to the match. Hopefully, and I do mean hopefully, we can win this. I just will actually save the game in case of any crashes. Because I don't know when I last saved, and I don't want to replay a ton of stuff. And also considering Barrita's results, I don't want to go back and then find that they've won all those games. It's happened to me before. Don't want it to happen again. So let's just perform a quick save, and let's just quickly go on to this game. So the final game of the season. Remember, the equation is quite simple. We win, we're champions. We draw, and Burrito don't win, we're champions. Burrito, if Arema beat Burrito, then we are champions anyway. So yeah, here's hoping anyway that we can do this. Come on, guys. There's never been a more important moment in any of your careers, surely, than this moment right now. We could be champions. Champions through adversity. No one expected us to win it. Well, actually, they did. They've been expecting us to win it every season. But come on, guys. This is a time when heroes are made. Legends are made, and we need some legends right now. So let's do this. Come on, off to the game. Pitch. And we're kicking off. We're in white. PSSB kick us off, and we steal it in there. So we've got the result there. Up Arema Burrito. Still 0-0 in that game. Wahoy. Long throw in to Sefyawan, but loses the ball. Sinaji. Asapa. Sefyawan to Lily Pally. Lily Pally going down the wing. Crosses. Boaz. Oh, hits a post. God, that was such a good chance. That was the chance we needed. And at the moment, we would be champions, guys. At the moment, we would be champions. No goals in the game against Arema. Asapa picks up the ball deep. Sinaji to Setiawan. What can he do with this? Goes inside to Asapa. Back to Setiawan. Sinaji. Asapa. Setiawan. Lily Pally. PSSB sitting deep. Lily Pally straight through to Setiawan. Good cross. Back post. Vermansire puts us in the lead. That could be such an important goal. And we are 1-0 up against PSSB. But a quick highlight here. Always hate these. Rodias, Sugiato, PSSB. What have they got? Setiawan loses the ball. Wijaya going forward. Vermansire, Alamer in the middle. Lily Pally does well to win the ball there. Under strong challenge. Asapa to Sanaji. Could be 2. Yusuf saves. And that could have been the title there. Corner kick to be taken. And it's just cleared away. Kind of out of view there. And Arema take the lead. Arema have taken the lead in Burrito. Against Burrito. And that's it's all going against Burrito at the moment. They need to do it. They need to a complete switch in results at the moment to win this title. Sugiato on the ball to Asapa, Alamer, Lily Pally. Lily Pally forward to Seftiawan. Seftiawan shoots! 2-0. That could be the title. Seftiawan knows it. Not much of a celebration, but 2-0 it is. And Persipura could be heading to their first title in something like 5 or 6 years. Phenomenal stuff. We're doing very well here, guys. Hold on. Oh, Arema are 3-0 up against Burrito. As news must have filtered through of that goal, and it's absolutely crushed Burrito. This is looking like Persipura's title at the moment. 2 quick goals before half-time put Arema 3-0 up in that game. Burrito look all but dead and buried at the moment. Persipura edging towards a title. Seftiawan from the corner. Vermansire heads. Oh, good save. Good save onto the post. There's a 4th goal in the Arema game. Arema now lead 4 and it's 5 now. Burrito have absolutely imploded against Arema. 6-0. It's have we ever seen anything like this? You know, a team going for the title and they've absolutely imploded. A few changes to be made. Persipura running out the time. It's not going to be enough for Arema anyway. They can't win the title. Burrito are done. Lily Pally takes the corner. It's all but over, surely. The referee's got... He blows it. It's all over. Persipura are champions. We've done it. We are the champions. Q Queens, we are the champions because we are the champions. And it's taken a very long time. 3 years and probably a quarter. But finally we have done it. We are champions of Indonesia. And wow, it feels good. I've just got to say, it feels good. After all this effort, there it is, guys. We are officially champions of Indonesia. Fantastic. That's a brilliant achievement. We've won the title. Great stuff. Setiawan leading it. Salazar getting... The supporters are happy about that. Got a lot of criticism all the way through his career in Indonesia. It's been an uphill struggle. Board are happy, of course. They're not my favourite fans. And we've qualified for the AFC Cup. And you know what, guys? That was my last game as a Persipura manager. I'll be resigning in the morning. So yeah, I mean, and the reasons, obviously, apart from this challenge, is I probably would have resigned anyway if this was a normal save, just simply because the board have been absolute arseholes to me. I've been constantly, you know, I've probably faced the sack about 3 times so far. We can argue whether it's justifiable or not, but at the end of the day, you know, we won a cup, we won a title. It's not been an absolute disaster, you know, in any shape or form. Let's just hold the other team in. That was the easy part. The big shot to make sure we retain it. Whatever. It's 7 weeks, and yeah, so let's just check that's all gone in. Check that we have officially. Oh, Mourinho's now top of the pile. He's actually surpassed Alex Ferguson by quite a bit. He's won 5 Champions Leagues with Chelsea. Jesus Christ! So that's 7 Champions Leagues Jose Mourinho's won. Wow, that's really impressive. But yeah, there it is. There is the title. We have won it in 2020, and that will be the last thing that I do as manager of Persipura, as I resign my role. Salazar quits, ended his reign. During his time, they lifted the Piala, Indonesia, and the Super Piala, runners-up in Super Piala, and won the Super League in 2020. So yeah, speculation and right. Denny Ciprianto could get the nod. Who's he? No, some bloke. Anyway, guys, and some of the guys have followed me out the doors. Yeah. Director of footballer has announced that goalkeeping coach Jerry Pitoy has followed his former manager out of the club. So guys, we've finally done it. We've won the Indonesian League, so that now means that we've won the Hong Kong, Indian and Indonesian League. That means that we can also switch off Indonesia. Finally, I don't intend to ever come back. I did not enjoy Indonesia, I must admit, and we'll be adding in, I think Chile makes sense, so I think Chile will be added in to proceedings now. So as you can see, quite a few now. You got Chile, Peru and Colombia in South America, so showing some progress as we go along. And yeah, so we've done it, guys. We're champions. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope it was an enthralling affair for you. Final day of the season, league win for us, and yeah, I'll see you in the next episode, where God knows where I'll be. Could be anywhere. Hopefully, probably still in Asia. We've still got Malaysia, Singapore, China, South Korea to do. So fair few places still to try and conquer. But that's me for today, and that was I think part 17, is it? Yeah, part 17, where we finally conquered Indonesia. And I'll see you next time.